Nootropic stacking is a powerful way to enhance cognitive function. This video explores different strategies for combining nootropics, considering individual needs and goals for optimal results. So if you're new to nootropics and you don't know where to start, this video is for you. And I'll not insult your intelligence and suggest starting with something simple like caffeine and L-Theanine. Instead, let's put together a stack that's simple, safe, and powerful, and won't crush your monthly budget. And remember that this video is divided into chapters, so you can easily skip to any section of the video that interests you if you're short on time. Just click on the timeline or in the notes section below this video. Hi, I'm David Toman, author of Nootropics Expert and this YouTube channel. Now before we get started, please hit the subscribe button and share this video. I also do consultations, so if you need more help trying to figure out which nootropic supplements you should be using, then schedule an hour with me. You'll find a link to my calendar down below in the notes section below this video. Let's get started. First, let's lay the groundwork for building a stack. Dr. Gagau, the chemist who came up with piracetam in 1963, gave us a list of 5 criteria that a substance must have to be considered a true nootropic. Dr. Gagau suggested that a true nootropic, 1, must enhance memory and the ability to learn, and assist brain function under disruptive conditions such as lack of oxygen and electroconvulsive shock. It protects the brain from chemical and physical toxins like anticholinergic drugs and barbiturates. It increases natural cognitive processes. It must be non-toxic to humans, not stimulate or depress your brain. Now, the bottom line is the stack must be safe to use even long term. You'll make improvements to your cognition and mood, and if you decide nootropics aren't for you, you simply go back to the baseline where you started, with no damage done and nothing to repair. And unlike detoxing from drugs, if you quit nootropics or nootropic stacks, there's no withdrawal to go through. So here we'll put together a simple nootropic stack that's based on the above criteria, and a stack that will enhance concentration and focus, improve your mood and lower anxiety, increase your energy without irritability and avoid a crash when it wears off, boost your memory, reduce stress and fatigue, and boost learning ability. Doesn't that sound good? So next we're going to talk about the different types of nootropics and how they work in synergy with each other. This is the very definition of a nootropic stack. So that's next. It's important to understand that a nootropic stack should work synergistically because each supplement has a different mechanism of action in your brain and body, and each supplement in your stack should support the other nootropics in your stack. For example, acetylcholine's function in your brain is needed for encoding new memories and for restoring concentration and focus and cognition and the growth of new neurons or neurogenesis. Once acetylcholine does its job, the enzyme acetylcholinesterase comes in and breaks down that acetylcholine. So you can increase acetylcholine by adding alpha-GPC or CDP-Choline along with L-Car or acetyl L-carnitine to your stack. But if you use more than one acetylcholine precursor or supplement, you can boost acetylcholine too much. Too much acetylcholine can cause depression, irritability, muscle pain, and a host of other problems. And also keep in mind that a nootropic like huperzine A, which inhibits acetylcholinesterase, increases acetylcholine levels in your brain. So if you are using huperzine A in your stack, you may want to cut back on your dose of alpha-GPC or CDP-Choline. Many nootropic supplements either increase acetylcholine or inhibit acetylcholinesterase. If you take more than one choline supplement, you'll hit a ceiling and not get the synergistic effects. The same goes for other neurotransmitters and many other supplements on my big list of nootropics. Keep in mind that the effect of some nootropics can be cumulative. In other words, build up, and the effects build up in your brain over time. A good example of this is huperzine A, which has a half-life of about 14 hours. Dosing huperzine A every day means your body never gets a chance to get rid of some of that huperzine A, and it builds up over time, even in a short term, which can be toxic. So you should cycle huperzine A and restrict its use to every second or third day. For each nootropic you're considering, always read the dosage recommendations and the side effects and possible interaction with other nootropics or especially other prescription drugs. So what's what's the difference between water-soluble and fat-soluble nootropics? That's next, so don't go anywhere. Another thing to consider is that some nootropics are water-soluble and some are fat-soluble. Water-soluble nootropics are generally easily absorbed. Fat-soluble nootropics, however, require a quality fat to ensure that they get used by your brain and can cross the blood-brain barrier and get into your brain cells. This explains why some supplement labels recommend that you take the nootropic with a meal. The manufacturer is implying that it's a fat-soluble supplement, and they're counting on the fat in your meal to boost its absorption and bioavailability. Now, whenever I'm about to take my nootropic stack, I always precede it with a tablespoon of unrefined coconut oil. You can also use extra virgin olive oil or any other healthy oil that you like, but I prefer coconut oil because of MCTs are like rocket fuel to my brain, in addition to helping my brain absorb whatever fat-soluble nootropics I'm using. Now, next we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of assembling different nootropic supplements and how each works and putting them together in a nootropic stack. So you might want to take notes. That's next. This stack that I'm just about to describe for you works well for someone that's just starting out with nootropics, and it works equally well for experienced neurohackers too. CDP-Choline, or citicoline, 250 milligrams to 300 milligrams taken twice a day. This highly bioavailable source of choline easily crosses the blood-brain barrier. CDP-Choline is metabolized in your body to form choline and cytidine. Choline aids in the synthesis of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine in your brain, and cytidine converts to uridine, which is important for forming brain cell membranes. And then we add Bacopa Monnieri extract, up to 250 milligrams a day. It's taken in the morning. Bacopa is an adaptogen, which helps prevent the chemical and physical effects of stress, instead of just suppressing them like prescription antidepressants do. Bacopa Monnieri is used to reduce anxiety, depression, and stress, and it helps boost memory, concentration, and reaction time. Bacopa Monnieri is also used for neuroprotection for helping to maintain a healthy balance of neurotransmitters. Bacopa is also effective in treating many of the symptoms of ADHD. And then lion's mane mushroom extract, 500 milligrams to 3 grams per day, depending on the polysaccharide content. Lion's mane prevents neuron damage and it boosts nerve growth factor, which is important for forming new neurons, or neurogenesis. Lion's mane can help improve focus and attention, boost cognition, repair brain cells, and help anxiety and depression. L-Tyrosine, 300 to 500 milligrams twice a day, taking in the morning and again at noon. L-Tyrosine is used in your brain to make dopamine and to produce norepinephrine. L-Tyrosine helps with alertness, concentration, executive function, focus, libido, memory, and it works like an antidepressant for some people. L-Theanine, 100 milligrams taken 3 times a day, morning, noon, and later on in the afternoon. Or you can just drink 3 or 4 cups of organic green tea during your day. Green tea is an excellent source of L-Theanine. It works quickly and it helps increase both dopamine and serotonin and the feel-good neurotransmitters in your brain. L-Theanine stacked with caffeine provides a synergistic effect that helps promote cognition, motivation, and attention with no caffeine jitters. Pine bark extract, 300 milligrams per day, or you can split it up 100 milligrams 3 times a day. Pine bark extract helps boost cerebral blood flow by increasing nitric oxide, which helps dilate blood vessels. And it helps repair and maintain the health of blood vessel linings. Boosting cerebral circulation with pine bark extract increases levels of oxygen and glucose, which maintains healthy levels of neurotransmitters, and it promotes better concentration, focus, and memory. And DHA, which is an omega-3, 1,000 milligrams per day taken in the morning, your brain is made up about 60% fat, and most of that fat is in the form of DHA. This fat helps in the formation of brain cell membranes and plays a vital role in how neurons and synapses function. It's synergistic with CDP-Choline. DHA helps in the formation of phosphatidylserine and phosphatidylcholine, 2 important components that make up your brain cell membranes. Low levels of DHA can lead to things like ADHD, anxiety, depression, obesity, suicide, and increased risk of Alzheimer's or dementia. And the B-complex vitamins taken every day in the morning, make sure that you get a formula that is a little higher than the RDA recommendation and it's bioactive. Vitamin B1 thiamine is essential for producing producing the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. It helps turn nutrients into adenosine triphosphate, the fuel that's produced in your cell's mitochondria. And it contributes to the myelin sheath that protects axons from damage. Vitamin B3, or niacin, is used in the synthesis of coenzyme A, which helps to form acetyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA joins with choline, which you get from CDP-Choline, to make acetylcholine. Niacin also is a precursor to NAD and NADH, which is needed for ATP synthesis in mitochondria. And niacin stimulates the production of dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. These neurotransmitters are involved in cognition, learning, memory, and mood and recall. Vitamin B5, or pantothenic acid, is required for the synthesis of coenzyme A that produces acetylcholine. So you may not realize the full benefit of the rest of your nootropic stack containing CDP-Choline or any of the racetams you may decide to add to the stack without vitamin B5. Vitamin B6, or peroxidine, helps your body make serotonin, norepinephrine, and melatonin. Your body also requires vitamin B6 to absorb vitamin B12 and to make red blood cells and cells for your immune system. Vitamin B8, or inositol, is involved in brain cell signaling and is a component of brain cell membranes. Inositol helps boost serotonin and dopamine receptor density, improving the effectiveness of serotonin, GABA, glutamate, and dopamine in your brain. Vitamin B9, or folate, aids in the production of DHA and RNA in your brain cells, and it works closely with vitamin B12 to make red blood cells and help iron work properly in your body and brain. Vitamin B12, or methylcobalamin, is needed to regulate homocysteine levels, which are linked to inflammation in your brain and body. And B12 is a cofactor for the synthesis of dopamine, GABA, norepinephrine, and serotonin. Our beginner nootropic stack covers all of the criteria that we mentioned in the introduction to this video. So how much is this going to cost to build this nootropic stack? That's next. So the approximate cost of each CDP-Choline or acetylcholine is about $28. Bacopa Monnieri is $30. Lion's mane mushroom is $26. L-Tyrosine is $14. L-Theanine, $19 for 90 capsules. Pine bark extract is $45 for 60 capsules. DHA is $25 for 60 capsules. And B vitamin complex is around $11. So approximately $198 per month, you can begin optimizing your brain. Now, these are prices that I looked up right around the time I made this video. So I suggest using a tablespoon of unrefined coconut oil before each dose to ensure maximum bioavailability and absorption by these supplements in your body and brain. And I'm going to talk about how much of each nootropic we should take at once or in our stack. That's important because you don't want to overdo it. That's next. Nootropic supplement dosage recommendations are based on what works in clinical studies as well as anecdotal reports from our fellow experienced neurohackers. Now keep in mind that some supplements are water-soluble and they have a short half-life. In other words, a nootropic like L-Tyrosine will last in your system for about 4 to 5 hours, which is why we use L-Tyrosine twice a day because we need optimal dopamine levels all day long. Other nootropics are fat-soluble, which can be dosed once per day because the unused portion is stored in your fat cells and your body draws on that store as it needs it. So if a supplement label suggests taking it with a meal, that usually indicates that it's fat-soluble. And you need a healthy fat to activate the fat digestive part of your digestive system. I personally can't be bothered with this. Take this with a meal or take it on an empty stomach nonsense. It's too complicated. So to keep it simple, I take all of my supplements with a glass of water and a tablespoon of unrefined coconut oil. So the water-soluble ingredients in my stack are absorbed immediately without a problem. And by using the coconut oil, it ensures the fat-soluble ingredients in my stack are absorbed, digested, and get used by my brain. But what about side effects? And can we take these supplements with any drugs that we may be using? I'll talk about that next. One last thing, dosage recommendations are important. More is never better with nootropics. Too much of some supplements can be dangerous. Always stay within the dosage guidelines and you should be okay. And always know how each supplement works in your brain, because you'll want to know if a supplement that you want to try is not contraindicated with a medication that you may be using. You need to know this before you use it. Always listen to the side effects section of any of the video reviews on this channel for individual nootropic supplements, or read the side effects section for that supplement on my website, Nootropics Expert. Now, couldn't we just find a pre-made stack of all these supplements in it? I'll give you some ideas for this next. Instead of buying all the supplements that I talked about earlier in this video, you may want to consider trying MindLab Pro. It's a high-quality pre-made nootropic stack which contains all of the ingredients in a beginner's formula. MindLab Pro also contains phosphatidylserine and rhodiola rosea. For only $69 a bottle, it's less than buying each of the nootropic supplements on its own. I have a link down in the notes section below this video if you want to try MindLab Pro. And another good option for a quality pre-made stack is made by the sister company of MindLab Pro. Performance Lab has a complete line of supplements, including a nootropic stack containing some of the nootropic ingredients I talked about in this video earlier. Performance Lab Energy contains L-Car, arlipoic acid, CoQ10, PQQ, piperine, and magnesium malate for only $69 a bottle. It's a caffeine-free method of enhancing energy for body and mind, supporting cellular ATP energy production, mitochondrial genesis and function, fat metabolism, and overall metabolic efficiency. I put a link below in the notes section below this video if you want to try Performance Lab Energy. For a more personalized nootropic stack, or one tailored to an issue that you want to address, like cognition or memory or depression or energy problems or motivation or brain repair and maintenance, see my video on this channel called How to Create the Best Nootropic Stack. Each of the nootropic supplements I mentioned in this video has its own video on this channel. Each nootropic video review includes clinical studies and much more detailed on how each nootropic supplement helps optimize your brain. Now, if you have any questions about your stack or comments about the beginner stack or nootropic stacking strategies we covered in this video, please leave a comment below. So that's my report on nootropic stacking strategies. You'll find a link below this video that takes you to the full transcript for this video over on my website, Nootropics Expert. And I also do consultations. So if you're going crazy, if you can't figure this stuff out on your own, or you've tried a bunch of supplements and they're not working as good as you'd like, schedule an hour with me and I'll work with you and we'll get you straightened out, building a nootropic stack that's specifically tailored for you. You'll find a link to my calendar below down in the notes section. And if you haven't already, download your free copy of Secrets of the Optimized Brain. It's nearly 100 pages, and it contains details in 92 of the most popular nootropics used in the world today. And my 4-time award-winning book, the second edition of Head First, The Complete Guide to Healing and Optimizing Your Brain with Nootropic Supplements, is available worldwide. Head First, the second edition, is 962 pages and is available in hardcover, paperback, or for iPad or Kindle. You can get your copy at any major bookseller, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Balboa Press, Apple Books, Walmart, and others. You'll find a link to these stores below in the notes section below this video. And did I mention that Head First won 4 awards? You really need to get a copy if you haven't already. Head First is available again worldwide. So before you go, please hit the subscribe button and share this video and hit the notification bell so you know that the next time that I upload a new video. And thank you very much for watching. I'm David Toman, author of Nootropics Expert.